How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a lovely day. I've been watching Louis Rossmann videos, if you can't tell. I have my America hat on today because I'm going to talk about something related to the country that I live in and love so much. And that's an app called Public Square. If you're a God-fearing patriot like me, you may have been listening to Tim Pool a lot lately, and the Timcast show, and this is something that Tim Pool is fond of bringing up. I think he may have had the creator of the app on his show once or twice. And this is an app which I'll just show you. The idea is that you can find businesses offering products and services and various entrepreneurs and whatnot that all ascribe to the same values, or at least similar values. They all love America. They're not doing any of this woke nonsense. And that's basically the idea. If you want to get products from a company that doesn't hate your guts, then you go to Public Square. So they've been pushing this a lot. And I thought, hey, that sounds a lot like me. So I started an account. And I gotta say, for a place like where I live, there's not a lot on here, which you would kind of expect, being kind of a new app and all. It takes people time to sign up and figure out that it exists, and for the ball to really get rolling. This is how all social media platforms operate. It takes a while for people to discover it and invest their time and energy. But I thought, being an entrepreneurial young man that I am, maybe I'll just put myself on there, because if you want to catch fish, it helps to go fishing in multiple places, right? I want to get as much exposure for my business as I can in the smart places. And being a God-fearing patriot, this seems like a great place for me to be. So, when you click on Add My Business, it says build your free business listing in under 10 minutes. Steps to add your business. Number 1, review our values. Agree to respect the values of Public Square, and then enter your contact information, select your business type, build your business listing, enrich your profile with images, evaluate advertising opportunities. And so the very first step, step 1 of 6, is review our values. On that screen there, it says pro-life, pro-family, pro-freedom. Sounds good to me so far. We are united in our commitment to freedom and truth. That's what makes us Americans. Okay, sure. I like freedom and truth. Is there anyone who doesn't like freedom and truth? And is that really what makes us Americans? Maybe that's part of what makes America great. I mean, I'm an American because I was lucky enough to have been born here and to be a natural-born American citizen. But the thing that makes America great is our ideas and our values. Not simply because we're somehow inherently better than other people in other places. We just have a better idea about how to structure our government. And that's has a foundation or a basis, at least hypothetically, in freedom and truth. Fine. It says we will always protect the family unit and celebrate the sanctity of every life. Sounds good to me. We believe small businesses and the communities who support them are the backbone of our economy. And this is where I had to pause, and this is the reason that I'm making the video, because small businesses and the communities who support them are the backbone of our economy. Which means it's anti-large business. And I love capitalism. I love free market capitalism. And as somebody who loves free market capitalism, I have to say, the one thing that really irks me more than anything else about our system at the moment, probably, is the kneecapping of all the entrepreneurs in this country and the removal of incentives. You know, we were sold an income tax way before I was born. The income tax was not in the Constitution. We ratified this and voted on it, and it was sold as an idea that we're just going to make it a tiny little tax for the extremely rich people to pay. It'll be just a tiny percentage of their income, and average people won't even pay this tax. It's just, we're just going to eat the rich. It's just going to be, it sounds very socialist, doesn't it? And, but everybody thought that sounded pretty reasonable. Like, yeah, Bill Gates and George Soros, and they can pay 1% of their income just for the greater good of society. But then it ballooned into what we have today, which is a progressive tax system that takes way too much of our money. And it's taking away the incentive for people to succeed. And I have to say, I am really grateful that I live near a Walmart. And that's not to say that I think Walmart is the greatest thing ever, or that they're an extremely moral company, or that they always do things the right way or above board entirely. I'm sure they've committed many sins, but I do appreciate that they have reasonable quality products when I need them for not a lot of money, which is kind of the goal of competition. It's to drive prices down and quality up. I guess in Walmart's case, you get what you pay for, because it's not the highest quality stuff, but it's also very cheap, right? They have some of the best prices, and that's why I shop there. That's why everybody shops there who does shop there. And they're a huge company. But I'm just using them as an example. There's lots of huge companies that I'm very grateful to have, because they do it better than anybody else. And that's why they're a huge company. They deserve it. They figured it out. You know, McDonald's is very successful at selling hamburgers. And the reason isn't because McDonald's has the best hamburger. Nobody goes to McDonald's, or at least I guess this is kind of changing with McDonald's now, but you never used to go to McDonald's to get a gourmet burger. You didn't expect it to be top shelf quality. You went to McDonald's to get a basic, average, I just got to put food in my mouth kind of burger. That was like, yeah, it's okay. And McDonald's wants your $5, and you want the burger. So it's a great trade. Actually, it didn't used to cost $5. It used to cost a lot less than that. You could get a whole meal or feed a family of 5 for $5 at McDonald's back when my mom was a child. So, yeah, we've come a long way. But I'm grateful that McDonald's exists, aren't you? Have you ever been to McDonald's? Who hasn't gone to McDonald's? I mean, I try not to go there because the food is terrible and I feel like garbage every time I eat it. Again, this isn't an advertisement for McDonald's. It's just an example of, like, it is better that they exist, though, isn't it? Isn't it nice when you need it that it's there? Aren't you grateful to live in a society that has these big companies that provide things that we want at an extremely low price and do it basically better than anybody else? Do we think that they should be punished for existing? It reminds me of my neighbor down the street from where I live. At one time, I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe they moved or something, but they had a bumper sticker on their car that said, "Billionaires shouldn't exist." It's like, well, if you believe that, that's like saying you don't want people to be that helpful, because money is just a signifier of the value that other people believe that you provide. So if somebody has legitimately earned $1 billion, that means they've provided $1 billion worth of value to other people. And if you don't want them to exist, that means you want people's lives to be harder, in some sense. I don't know. Just reviewing this and thinking, we believe small businesses and the communities who support them are the backbone of our economy. What is that? Where did the small business thing come from exactly? Because it doesn't seem like a right-wing idea. I've heard it in other places. There's a broad coalition of people who say, support small businesses and always shop local. Isn't this a very popular trope in leftist advertising and propaganda? Can't you go to like your local farmer's market or Whole Foods kind of store, or just somebody who's selling all natural, organic schmuckety schmoo or whatever, and it'll say shop local? It's so like that's one of their core values that they, even big businesses will say shop local even though they're a huge business. Like there's a large grocery store chain near me. I think they print shop local on their grocery bags, but like I haven't looked up how big they actually are, but they have a lot of stores. I don't think you're really shopping local when you shop there. Not in the spirit of like, oh, well, this store doesn't have multiple locations, therefore it's inherently good. Where did we get that idea? They aren't successful enough to open another location, therefore they must be a good business. That doesn't make any sense in terms of just a free market capitalism, a free market capitalist value. And the whole point of this app is all about the economy and all about business. It's about listing businesses, products and services that are for sale from people, entrepreneurs, proprietors, businesses, whatever, what have you, that agree to these values. Where did this come from? And unfortunately, I just didn't feel comfortable signing up for Public Square because that doesn't make sense. The hate for big business, the sort of blind hate for big business. And it's one thing if you want to say like this big business is ruining the environment and polluting a bunch, and that's why I don't like them. Like, okay? Or if you say they're enslaving a whole bunch of people, they're not paying them a fair wage, taking advantage of people in the cobalt mines in the Congo, or, sweatshops in China. There's a whole back and forth you could have about that, I guess, because a lot of those jobs overseas were comparatively good, but fine. There's a reason that you don't like a big business. Like I get it. Especially if you're being specific about the business you don't like Walmart or, fill in the blank, whatever it is that you don't like. I don't like them because they do this specific crime. But the sort of just gut level inherent hate for a big business, where did that come from? Who's pushing that value? Isn't that a leftist thing? Or if you want to say the person who owns that big business, they didn't get their wealth fairly because they broke the law or they took advantage of people, or you feel like they don't deserve it for a specific thing that they did that you feel is wrong. I could get behind that, honestly. If you want to point to somebody and make a specific accusation about why their wealth is ill-gotten, like, I might join you in saying, yeah, I don't know if that person deserves to be as wealthy as they are because they didn't earn it legitimately by adding value to other people's lives in a free market economy. That's how it's supposed to work, not just grifting and taking advantage of people and breaking laws and getting away with it and that kind of thing. Then I could say, yeah, knock that guy down a peg, or punish him, or fines, or jail time, or whatever is appropriate to that case. But I don't just dislike people just because they have a lot of money. I want to have a lot of money, don't you? There's two kinds of problems in this world. Either two kinds of money problems in this world. Either too much or not enough. and I think the too much kind of problems are better problems to have than the not enough problems. I'm just saying. And I think it's good. It's been good for the world. It's good for our country, but it's good for the world as a whole that we have a system, an economic system, that uses competition to incentivize quality and value, and, in other words, lower prices. I think that's been a driving force for lifting people out of poverty around the world. I think there's the trope that's come out that greed is good from some movie that I haven't seen, which I don't agree with. I don't think greed is a good thing, but being paid commensurate to the value you provide to other people is not greedy. And that's the thing that we have to get straight. It's simply amazing what some people have managed to do, how innovative some entrepreneurs have been once they are unbridled from the shackles of government and allowed to succeed and allowed to keep what they earn. If you have the promise that, hey, if you work really hard at this, you really have better ideas than anybody else, you'll get to hang on to what you legitimately earned and you'll get to keep it. That incentivizes people to work and to be smarter and to be better. But you can't promise that and then just take it away because you're resentful of them for being successful. And you say, I don't like it that person has a lot of money, even though they worked for it and they earned it. And they had a better business. They had better ideas. And they made the world a much better place. And people voluntarily gave them this money in exchange for the value that they were providing. No, it's immoral that they should have all that money, despite their value to society. I don't like that. I don't think that's an American value. And I'm not okay with just issuing a blanket statement saying that small business is inherently better than big business. I don't think that's... I'm not sure where that is originated from, but I don't think it's originated from a free market economy or philosophy of free market capitalism. And I don't know why this is part of the value statement on Public Square, but I just have a problem signing up for the platform if that's what I have to agree to. And I can hear you right now. You're saying, well, Thomas, maybe you should just, not worry about it because you're not a big business. You are a small business, and this is a stupid platform. Just sign up. Just do it. Who's going to know? Why would anybody care? Just because you're not totally on board with the thing. my conscience, I guess. I think about things too much. That is kind of the whole point of the platform, is that they want you to be on board with the values. So, I mean, it's kind of like that just undermines everything right there. If that's why people are going on the platform, to find people with those values specifically, and then they come to my business and I don't share all of those values like I'm supposed to, like they make you click that you agree to them, there's going to be a lot of unhappy customers on that platform coming to my business, aren't there? Unless nobody really thought about it this deeply. And that might be kind of a disturbing thought, I guess. Maybe I'm weird, but that's all I had to talk about. If you haven't heard about Public Square, maybe you want to check it out. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'll change my mind about this at some point once I'm shown the light about why that's on their value statement, and somebody can explain to me why small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and that's just a completely reasonable, conservative statement of value, and I'll end up on Public Square. But I hope this has been an informative talk and that you've learned something, and thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later.